How's it going, everyone? It's Johnny Beard here with another episode of the Streamer Stories podcast, and I have a returning guest today, someone I've known for a long time. I've seen their journey literally from the beginning to now. It's an absolute privilege to call him a friend, and it's great to have the return of SnookyShogun. Here he is. How you doing, sir?
Mr. Beard. Yo,
we meet again.
We meet again, my guy. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. It's an absolute honor to be back on your podcast, dude. First podcast I ever did, and
yes,
yeah, it was a special one. I don't do a lot of podcasts as well. Like I think I've done 3 in total. Like,
nice. Yeah,
I think I've done 3. So yeah, I don't do them often, but it's always a pleasure, and especially sitting down with you, Johnny. Like obviously we've chatted a lot on stream, off stream, so it's cool. We're just hanging out. We're just two buds hanging out.
Basically, yeah. This could be fun, just chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we've just been chatting for 40 minutes just before we hit record as well. Yeah, literally. We're just like, anyway, should we press record?
Like you probably could have pressed record at any time of that then, and you would have had some decent content for your pod already.
Damn, we could have done the bonus episode. The bonus
could have
episode.
Done like the behind the scenes, the cutting room floor.
I missed an opportunity there. Damn it. Oh well.
I'll come back for podcast number 3 with you, and we'll do it again next time.
Oh, it's been 4 years, hasn't it? So the next one will be in. Let's do 12 years. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. We'll be in our 40s and 50s, maybe. But I don't know.
I'll be having a hip operation on that time.
Oh, well, Snooky, obviously, I know you very well. You're a good friend of mine. I think the world of you. You're a legend as far as I'm concerned. But for those who don't know who you are, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us where you are, what you do.
Yeah, of course. My name's SnookyShogun. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/SnookyShogun. I've been a streamer for, I guess, about 4.5 years now, something like that. I play a lot of predominantly survival horror. I do challenge runs, no damage runs. I do enjoy a bit of variety from time to time as well, and generally just enjoy hanging out with my community. We have a bit of a banter. We have some good times, and I do occasional bits of YouTube. Got a TikTok account, and just have fun. Just have fun playing games on the internet.
It's a privilege. It's such a great time, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah. It's just so fun to just sit there and play games and people watch us. Let's be honest.
Honestly, I guess that's why we all started. It was like, okay, I enjoy playing games. I enjoy talking about games. So I'm just gonna do that. And I guess a lot of people did it when COVID was at its peak. When COVID was starting and people couldn't go out. A lot of people, anyway, who were furloughed or couldn't work at the time for whatever reason, so a lot of them just decided either to start streaming on Twitch or watching Twitch. So I guess Twitch was very, very hot at that time.
Yeah, man. Furloughed. I reckon if you look at the Google search history of that word, it went whoomph and then went back down again. Yeah.
I swear no one had ever heard of that word before 2020. I swear they just invented a word at that point.
Yeah. I reckon it was AI, that was involved before we even knew it.
That was the start of AI. That was the AI coming in, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like a whole episode of Black Mirror on its own. Well, dude, thank you for popping back on again, and it's great to have you. And you were the first ever live episode that we did, which was very... listen back to it. It was very interesting.
I know.
So, yeah.
I felt it was kind of nerve-wracking at the time, actually, because like I said, it was the first ever podcast I'd ever done. I was still fairly kind of newish to streaming in like the bigger scheme of things, like how long I've been doing it now. I was still fairly new, and like we knew each other, but obviously like we'd collaborated a few times, but like sitting down and having that conversation, just the two of us. But it was super comfortable. Like I got into it, and Johnny was gentle. So yeah, it was an absolute pleasure, and doing it live, honestly, it didn't really, like, I didn't feel, I don't think, any more nervous than I would have been doing it like kind of like one-to-one. It was like, I guess, if you're in any kind of podcast slash interview setting for like the first time with someone. It's like, oh, okay, what they, how's this going to be? But then, yeah, it was great. Johnny's very, 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 very approachable, very, very warm and cuddly.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have had some guests of the podcast compare being with me for an hour to therapy. I hope it's good therapy.
That's why I've been looking forward to this so much, man. 4 years, I need some therapy.
Yes. Tell us your problems.
Yeah, I gotta just lie down now on a couch.
Yes. But it was like, and like, yeah, it was so good to have you as the first live episode. I wanted to have someone that had a bit of go about them, and I always try to pick someone live that I think like, okay, there's got to be have some form of energy about them, and you do bring that energy to your streams, man. I always have since literally day one, so had to start with a bang.
Man, yeah, I know I've always had like that kind of energy inside me, but it's like it's always been like, it's always nice to have that outlet to talk about all things gaming related, or just media related, movies, games, books, music. So yeah, like IRL, like I'm actually probably a lot more reserved and a bit more chilled than I am on stream. Like, on stream I'm just my full uncensored, unapologetic self, because I can be, and I'm around like all like-minded people. That's the beauty of it. You're just talking to people on the internet who have the same interests as you. It's not quite the same as like going and doing your day job, where there might be a chance that someone is into gaming or the same sort of stuff as you, because I was always like that growing up. I always loved gaming. I always loved like all the nerdy shit basically, and that's why I loved talking about games on stream so much, because it's always so relatable. People will be like, yeah, I remember that, and you learn so much as well. You learn from people online who've got like the similar interests, but might have like a different background or a different sort of spin on things that you do.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And that's always come out. That's always come out with seeing your streams, man, ever since day one. So that was around 4 years ago. So what's changed in the last 4 years?
To be fair, I wonder. I need to look back at that episode again, but I am in the same room.
Yes.
I'm in exactly the same room, in the same position. That cabinet is still there. I don't know if that light was there then, because it switches sometimes. It goes from there to there. I don't know. I wonder if those Resi cushions were there. Maybe. I also got Twitch partner. And it's a couple of things have happened. A couple of things, yeah.
Yeah.
So
man.
Things went pretty good on Twitch. In terms of the whole content grind thing. Like I said, I was able to get a Twitch partner, and that was a pretty epic achievement. That was something that I didn't ever think I would get. It was something that I didn't really ever grind for. I didn't even really think that, I didn't really understand it, if I'm completely honest. I just thought, ooh, check mark. But it's a cool little like badge of recognition, and I'm very extremely proud of it. And it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute blast, kind of building a community and growing over the years. And I never thought I would be able to sort of say that, if you know what I mean. Like, 'cause I think a lot like many other people starting streaming, either out of the boredom or just wanting to reach out, speak to people, like, make friends. There are people obviously who will start it with a bit of like more of a focused, planned approach of, I want to do this and, build like kind of a business with it. And that's cool as well. But yeah, honestly, for me, I never even thought it would ever come to that. It was just something. I started it because I saw One Big Beast doing it. I probably said that last time.
You did, yes.
I saw
Shout
Beast
out.
doing it. Shout out to One Big Beast.
Yeah, man.
Saw him streaming, and I thought, I was on his stream a few times, and I thought, this is fun, and I'm having fun talking to people, and it's just having a banter and stuff. And then I was like, well, I might give this a go. I'll give it a go, because this is pretty fun, and I can do it whenever I want then, and not just when Beast is streaming. If I fancy jumping on and having a couple of games, I can.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
It was great to finally have Beast on the podcast. You once in a while, because usually we were great friends in IRL. You like,
I'm still proud of Beast.
You'd peck me once in a while. I go, interview One Big Beast. Interview what? I will. And we finally got it done. It was a great episode. So check that out, friends. But he is a good guy, and and like if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here having the second conversation, man. So
I know. I say that like regularly, like when he comes into my stream, and if usually if I go into his, it's mentioned. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't probably be sat here talking to you about streaming and how I've been streaming for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's wild. I was very much a casual Twitch user. Like I very rarely used Twitch actually until Beast started streaming himself, and then that's when I kind of got into it and started like following some people in the Resi kind of community, like sort of games that I was interested in, because Beast is a lot more of a variety boy than I am. He plays a lot of different games, but I'm quite tunnel visioned, like both on and off stream. A lot of times I know what I like, and I kind of it's almost like I struggle to go outside of that box sometimes, because I'm worried about sinking time into something that I don't know if I'll like, so I kind of play it safe. I should get better at that. I want to get better, because there's a lot of great games out there that I'm depriving myself of playing. Because I like to experience the classics so much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually said this to you before, Snooky, but what I love about your streaming journey, I was going to mention this later on the podcast, but we're talking about Twitch Japan and talking about your journey quite early on, and I'm happy to talk about it now. But what I've loved about, again, I'm privileged to say I've known you practically since day one in terms of your streaming career. I've always felt like, and I don't know how you're going to take this, I've always felt like what your path towards your current situation has been like. It's always felt like, dare I say, almost like a blueprint, what I would say has been for what you should do and what you can do to achieve success in terms of on Twitch. Because like you said, you saw your friend do it, you thought, I'm going to take parts of that and I'm going to do it my way, because everyone's different, everyone builds their own communities differently. And then you went into the Resident Evil community because that was your niche, and you went, I'm going to get to know people within Twitch on this community. You built friendships, really good long-term friendships, people that we know very love and dear very well. And then you've learned from those people. You've always been a learner, from what I've seen as well, in terms of you put your own spin on it, but you adapt things to your style, and like just seeing your journey, like building the community. You're very community focused as well. You love your community so much, and building that's been so paramount to your situation. And I just think, as I said, when I say blueprint, I genuinely mean it with love. When I say like absolute example to lots of people out there that can make a success out of this and doing it the structured and formal way, but also having fun as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. Thank you, by the way. That's like super kind, man. Yeah, no, I mean, everyone grows on Twitch at like different rates, and I don't think there's like one clear cut way.
No,
like kind of what you were saying then, like of growing is kind of like you can take ideas, you can come up with your own ideas, and everyone kind of, no path is the same.
No.
Everyone gets their own way. There are probably things that work better than others. Like I think I think one of the things that will help with growing quicker is sticking to a niche. That's kind of like what helped me with the Resi so much. Like I know yourself, Johnny, you're a variety streamer. You play a bit of everything, and that's I admire that because that is actually like probably the hardest way to be able to grow, because you've got that added pressure of, well, you could be playing a game that absolutely slaps, people love it, tune in for everyone, and then you switch the game up and it's like, oh, I don't know if I like this game that much. But what you're doing there, you each time you play a game, you may see some new people come in, you may see then some people like not show when you play something different, but you will still retain people who show up for you, and that kind of snowballs. So like the more you do it, the longer you do it, you'll find, well, if I'd have done this X amount of years ago, I may have only had you know, so many people watching, but now actually I've got, you know, double that or however many times that. And it just keeps building like that. I've said many times, like, I'm extremely grateful for being able to build a community and be able to reach Twitch partner and, you know, get to where I am through sticking to a niche, which is obviously the Resident Evil no damage runs. But at times it is tricky to break out of that. And I think variety is definitely something that is better for the longevity. You see a lot of streamers get very much into a niche because they're grinding towards a goal. And then when they get that goal, they're like, oh, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. They switch it up, and instantly it's kind of like the people aren't there anymore. And I think, you know, as cynical as that sounds, there are, you know, people watch Twitch, and I kind of think of them the same as like people who watch any kind of television. They may watch for something in particular, and if you're smashing like that one category, that one game, a lot of the time you're going to get a lot of people who watch for that game, and when you change that content, if their favorite show ends, they're going to switch over the channel, you know. So I think the most, I don't know why this got so deep all of a sudden, but like a bit of vital takings from that is, you know, the show needs to be you know. It doesn't it shouldn't be the game. Game can be a big part of it because obviously you're commentating, you're playing the game, you're putting your own spin on your playthrough, your gameplay. But I think that's a huge one for me is, you know, it needs to be about, you know, you and you want your viewers to be kind of showing for, you know, what you can bring to it, which I think, like I say, is really, really admirable for variety streaming. It's something that I've been trying to do a bit more myself, and trying to get the courage to do, because you know, like I say, you don't know if switching up a game is going to have a good effect or an adverse effect. It's a lot of uncertainty with it, and even like, you know, a lot of like really, really, really large creators, they'll go through the same thing. You know, they've all got fan bases, communities to keep happy, and you just don't know. Sometimes some things work, some things don't, and there's a lot more uncertainty with that. But it's definitely more rewarding if you're able to make it work doing that.
Definitely, man. Yeah, and like you said, it's pretty much like, I appreciate your comments about variety streaming. Like, I respectfully could not do what you did. Like, I love Resident Evil, I love it so much, but man, I have to flip it around because I just couldn't do it. But it's like you are right, it is the quickest way to grow is by finding that niche, isn't it? And I just couldn't do it. But I salute those that do, because, you know, it's that comfort, isn't it, in terms of both the community aspect, but also, like you said, in terms of the streamer as well, in terms of like, they know probably from day in, day out what's likely to be, you know, around. And it is playing almost with fire, isn't it, if you do change it around, especially like you said, if you're going from one genre to a completely different genre. So it's like a double-edged sword, because like you like, I love Resi, I absolutely love Resi, I enjoy playing Resi. When you know, the start of like the no damage journey, it was just like thrilling, because like I was just playing through all these games I'd played growing up, I loved, and being able to like say, oh, I have done this game no damage, you know. And then I started doing multiples of them, like the God Run, like multiple games back to back. And it's always kind of like, you know, if you see people are enjoying it, and it's like, you know, it's people are, you know, getting some, you know, enjoyment and some, you know, entertainment from what you're doing, that kind of like bigs you up as well. But like, I'm my own kind of living proof that it's only like so much you can do of that. I think like I still like do the Resi stuff, because I do love Resi, like I say, and I know a lot of my community love Resi. But there is more to life out there than just sticking to one niche. And this is what I mean, this is where you have to find the balance and what works well for you, and kind of links back to why in the long run variety will be better. It will be like more probably easier on the mind for the streamer, because they don't have to think, right, I'm just grinding the same game over and over and over again. On the flip side, I kind of enjoy having something like
comfortable, you know, as mad as it sounds, like doing something like as stressful as like No Damage, still kind of comfortable because I know the game's inside and out. I can kind of be more animated, more chatty. I can literally play like one of the like some of the games just by looking at the other screen, looking at the chat, and I'm playing the game like in my peripheral vision. It's just like that. But might explain why I get hit so much, actually. But
yeah,
I've definitely seen like the pros and cons of it. You know, you can grow amazingly, especially if you're good at something. Like, people want to see goated gameplay. People want to see world record speed runs. People want to see like insane feats, insane accomplishments on being done live. And that's kind of like where I've been able to kind of capitalize on, I think, in terms of my Twitch growth. But yeah, it's something that's very much been on my mind in my journey, in terms of, well, that's a part of me, but underneath all that, like, I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I'm a massive just game fan in general. Like, I love all sorts of games. I'm not just like kind of a resi boy, you know. So it's been really interesting, sort of mixing things up a bit. And you know, there's been many examples in the past, you know, like, I'm not going to name drop any individuals, but like, you know, people who've gone on to be very, very successful, who have started off with a niche and been able to take like baby steps out and try, and then like sort of broaden their horizons and, you know, do a lot more, have a lot more freedom with their game choices. Because like the reality of it is, a lot of people start off streaming or content as a hobby, and then it turns into something a bit more kind of like a business. You know, it turns into something where you can start earning some money on, and a lot of people take that business seriously. They'll either, like, you know, like for myself, I don't mind talking about this, but like, I was full-time in a, you know, pretty decent job. I wasn't particularly happy in the job for a long time. So you know, I think when streaming came along, and you know, I was seeing obviously that side of things as well, like the business side of things, and, you know, the monetary stuff of Twitch and streaming. It kind of maybe gave me the nudge to, you know, make some like career changes. So, you know, it's been really, you know, really cool to sort of go and, you know, do a bit of half and half. So like, you know, I have my day job, I have my streaming job almost, you know, but it doesn't feel like a job, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's so yeah, like that is something else that like contributes in. Then if you're thinking about doing things long term, you do want to look at, right, am I going to be playing this one category, this one niche long term, or is this something like that I can plan now to start poking, you know, poking my nose elsewhere in terms of other niches, other categories, because who knows how long this will last, who knows how long you know, even streaming is going to be like a sort of, you know, a form of entertainment for people. Because that's the thing, that's why we switch on and our cameras and go live, is because we know people enjoy watching us. So I guess as long as people do enjoy watching us, then that's you know, that's as definitely. Sorry, I lost my train of thought then. But
no, it's true. I totally do. Okay, I'm gonna flip now to something completely different, topic-wise. Well, I say topic-wise, I'm going to stick with horror, but I'm not going to talk about games, actually. Let's talk about movies, because that was one thing that I loved listening back to our episode about, was it came through how much you love horror movies, but I really want to know what your Mount Rushmore of horror movies is, Snooky.
Okay. Yeah, I do love horrors, by the way. I don't know if you guys can tell. I do. I love horror movies. I grew up watching them, even like when I wasn't supposed to be watching them. Mount Rushmore, 4 faces on there. Yeah, 4 faces on Rushmore. Okay. The Shining's got to be on there. I love The Shining. Love Kubrick in general. Just amazing, like sort of psychological horror. Classic. Scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Dawn of the Dead, Romero, but then Day of the Dead as well. Like I class those two kind of together. I do 2 of my favorites. I absolutely adore them. They're just the gore effects in Day of the Dead. Like I think that's what triggered my zombie fascination. Was just being able to watch those movies as a young age and get traumatized by them. That's what inspired me so much. And
that's horrible. I love it.
it literally, I was like, I'm terrified. I don't want to watch this, but I can't take my eyes away from it.
Exactly. Yeah.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh,
I'm just rolling these off the top of my head now. But yeah, great movie, great soundtrack. Kurt Russell, I just love Kurt Russell. I want to twiddle his beard in that movie. And what else? What's the other one? Probably Alien.
Yeah,
Alien is...
That's a solid 4.
I think that's a really good 4. I mean, I said 5, but I guess the other 2, like the Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead, were like sneaky ones.
The flip
together.
Yeah.
Alien, great movie, like slasher set in space, pretty much. Sigourney Weaver's great in that movie, and then even better sequel. Then, in my opinion, I think Aliens is even better.
Yeah, so you can flip Alien and Aliens in as well if you wanted to.
Yeah, I class Aliens more as like an action movie, though.
Yeah.
It's like, if we're talking like straight up horror, like it's sometimes like some people may not even say like Alien has horror aspects, but is it a sci-fi movie or more than it's a horror movie? It's got a bit of everything in there, I guess. But yeah, with Aliens, I'd say that definitely verges more on like the popcorn action flick, at least in my opinion. It does have horror moments in it, but Alien, definitely is like, I'd say more of a horror vibe to it.
So, no, thank. That was a great Mount. I love that. That was a really good Mount Rushmore. So we're talking about obviously Resident Evil, talking about niches, but we're just gonna take all the niches out. You're playing a new game for the first time now, Snooky. Brand new game, never played it before. Are you someone that plays on easy mode? Are you someone that plays on medium difficulty, or do you go fuck it, I'm going hard difficulty? What's your default normally?
See, I get really passionate about this because I think sometimes I'm going to sound like a right whiny bastard now, but I think sometimes there's a lot of pressure put on people, especially when you're streaming, to like, play your first playthrough on hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like I find like if I'm playing a game for the first time and there's an option if it's easy, medium, or hard, I normally go for the middle because I go for normal because I don't want the game to be too easy. I don't want it to be too like toxic, like because I want to figure out the game. I want to be able to figure out how to control it and, enjoy the story at the same time and just feel like I'm actually, getting through the game at a decent pace, but not having it too easy. But yeah, there's a lot of like, stuff where, your first playthrough needs to be on the hardest possible difficulty. And that just blows my mind.
Yeah.
When Resident Evil 4 remake came out, I was bullied into playing the game on hardcore.
Oh my god!
And I was bullied by the game as well because the game actually says, "Oh yeah, this is for people who've played original Resident Evil 4." And I was like, "That's me. I've played original Resident Evil 4.
Right. It's true.
Well,
yeah."
And like professional wasn't unlocked at that point. That's like the hardest difficulty. But like it gives you like assisted, standard, and hardcore. And I was just going to do standard. I thought I just want to enjoy the game. And then the game's like, yeah, standard is for people who haven't really had much experience with Resi 4 OG. And I was like, okay. So I've played a lot of Resi 4 OG in the past, so I guess I'm going to play hardcore because that's what the game recommends. No, I got absolutely slapped. No, I personally, if I get the choice, I play on a standard difficulty, first playthrough. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be miserable playing a game for the first time and just get slapped in every room I go in now.
I can't believe Resident Evil... Resident Evil 4 gaslit you.
It did.
Yeah, it gaslit you.
Honestly, it like
thanks, Capcom.
It skill checked me. It was like, yeah, but then that whole like, oh well, you gotta get good, the get good mentality. I'm like, I just want to enjoy games. I just want to play games and enjoy them. I don't want to have to like prove to someone that I can play games on the hardest difficulty just to feel better about my, I don't know. Am I allowed to say stuff like that on stream?
No, I often find I felt like the RE engine era hardest difficulties are like woomph. I don't know what it is, especially the 7 and Village, and I think 4 Remake falls into that category. Like 2 and 3 Remake are not, I don't know, Inferno mode actually, I feel like RE Engine hardest difficulty is just a whole new level compared to the older games. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, like I personally, I think Resident Evil 2 Remake Hardcore is is actually a decent difficulty.
It
feels like, maybe because I've done it so many times now, but it feels like a balanced experience for people who are confident with the game. So yeah, I'd say hardcore is fine. Inferno is a bit of a meme, to be fair, on Resident Evil 3 remake. It's definitely challenging, but it's more just kind of like a lot of bullshittery, you know. And then I haven't played Professional in 4 remake. Village of Shadows in Resident Evil Village is just a joke.
Yeah.
It's doable, and like I know someone now who's like trying to do that no hit, and I just think that's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, Madhouse in Resi 7 isn't too bad.
No. I maybe I'm just not as good. I think, like you said, Resident Evil 2 remake I'm not so bad on. Even Inferno mode to a certain degree, but I often find that the other games for some reason I really struggle with. But you're mentioning no hit. We've mentioned no damage a few times, and you talked a little bit about the journey. But what is that actually inspired you to kind of give that a go? Like, am I alright to kind of shout out someone I really want to get on this podcast at some point, Matt the Rock? Like, I know he had a bit of an influence, obviously, in that as well. But talk to us about like what was the beginnings of that for you, because I mean, you're one of the best no damage runners in the world. Let's be honest, you are that good. But it was not always that way, was it?
You're very kind, my guy. I do throw a lot for content these days, but this whole no damage thing kind of it kind of started a bit randomly. I was doing like various challenge runs for Resident Evil anyway. Like as soon as I got my hands on like PC versions of the Resident Evil games and I was able to like play them with different mods and like do all different challenge runs on them, I was just loving life. I was just playing them all the time. And then one of the challenges, like I do like knife only, I do I don't know, no healing, no saves, and then it eventually went in then to no damage. And yeah, I was I got to watch in Matt the Rock stream, and he was already like doing god runs at that point. He was doing multiple games back to back without getting hit. And you know, this is a dude who'd been doing them for like years, absolute years. He hadn't been streaming on Twitch that entire time. Like I think he started about 6 months or a year, maybe 6 to 8 months before I started streaming, but he'd been doing no damage runs for years before that. So it's just in his DNA. And he's absolutely cracked. He makes it look easy. And I was like, yo, I like the main thing when people see like kind of, I guess, competitive or, you know, high level gameplay on any kind of games, they think of like speed runs. I think that's the most mainstream thing, you know, it's the most recognizable thing is speed runs. Speed runs I enjoy watching, but I struggle a lot with like concentration. I don't think like I would be able to maintain such solid concentration for an entire duration of a game where you've got to really be, you know, locked in and focusing, or even like just, you know, like even if it comes to muscle memory, just having all that, like it was something that I've never ever attempted. Maybe I will at some point. I know you've dabbled in a bit of speed running,
a little bit, yeah. And no damage running, only a small amount of both. That was something that I just never ever had on the cards. But no damage running really intrigued me because, like, I like to yap, I like to talk a lot, and I like to clown about when I'm on stream. I just like to have a laugh, and I thought with no damage that'd be kind of cool because. I mean, I can play the game and do like this really cool challenge run, which has got like some, you know, it's something I can work towards and it's like a goal at the end. But if I want to like stop and mess around and, you know, inflate my inflatable sheep and, you know, run around the room and, you know, all this stuff, I can, you know, I can just chill and put the controller down on the side and come back afterwards after I finish with the sheep. Exactly. Wait, that sounds really bad. It's happened.
It has. Like you think I'm joking? You know, people.
He's not joking.
I have an inflatable sheep.
Yep.
But so the first no damage run I ever did was Resident Evil 1 Jill scenario and best ending. And I actually had COVID at the time, which is really like an odd, very strange fact about it. I actually was COVID positive, and I got on stream anyway because I was like, you know, might as well. And I ended up getting the run. So yeah, that was, I guess, that's what sort of got me on my way. A lot of people started streaming when COVID was happening, and I got into no damage when COVID was happening to me.
Yes,
so
exactly that.
Yeah, and then since then I've managed to do pretty much all the classic trilogy, all the remake trilogy, and I've done 3 God runs myself. I'm working on my 4th at the moment, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been something, like I said earlier, that's worked out really well for me in terms of growing a community, growing a following, and just sort of maybe putting myself out there, getting myself onto the like the map in the little bit of the Twitch corner that we're in, you know. And yeah, it's been really cool. And like, yeah, I owe a lot to MDR. He's inspired me a lot, and he's taught me a lot as well. And I always joke about this, but he's like my own like little personal tech support, because he knows how to like set these games up beautifully. Like, I have his reshades and everything in my games, and the games look great. And I'll be like, Matt, that game looks really good on your stream, bro. You know, I wouldn't mind, you know, if you have a link to that mod or reshade. He's like, give me a couple of minutes, I'll jump on a call with you. I was like, okay, fine. 4 hours later, like, all my Resi games are all like looking banging. He's you know, he's looked after me a lot. He's a great guy.
Yeah, shout out to Matt the Rock. I will need to get him on this podcast. He's an awesome dude, for sure.
He's a cool guy.
But yeah, speaking of then mods, like, you've played a few of them, I suppose, haven't you? But let's talk about some of your Resident Evil mods, but also talk about, like, do you do modding in other gaming? Like, do you do offline type of modding? What's your relationship with mods, both Resident Evil and in general?
So, like, I'm a bit of a noob. I'm a bit of a PC noob. I'm not very technically savvy. This is why I need like people to help me with tech issues. Like, I learn pretty well. Like, I'll be confused once and not know something once, but as soon as someone teaches me, I'll remember it. But yeah, in terms of modding, like, the extent of it is on Resident Evil, whether that be like challenge, like, you know, difficulty mods, like Lord of the Necropolis for Resident Evil 3, which I've done, I've played. Or, you know, or BioRand, which we may talk about in a bit, probably. You know, BioRand, which is like the randomizer for Resident Evil, which is absolutely amazing. Big shout outs to Intel Orca, the creator of BioRand, and obviously Namsku did the Resi 2 remake one. They just offer absolute endless content. Just any possibility, you name it, you can just get from it out of that mod. Phenomenal. But like I said, like the reshade mod, I like my games to look really nice and you know, eye-catching. In terms of mods outside of Resi, I honestly, I'm pretty basic, if I'm completely honest with you. I got my gaming PC. I got my PC for streaming. I never had like a decent gaming rig before I started streaming. I've been a console gamer all my life. I play games on controller. I can't play on mouse and keyboard. I tried, but it's just, I don't know how I am able to like move, reach all over to like the freaking P button or R button. I don't know. You know, it's not me. I might try one day, but I grew up playing Super Nintendo, Sega Mega Drive. Controller feels right for me. So I've always kind of just played games in their vanilla state for the most part. It's just, you know, even better back in the day when you get a game. I'm going to age myself. I'm going to sound so old, but like, you know, you get a game like on cartridge or something, you know, there was none of this day one patching. You know, there's games were released, and if they were fucked, they would, they had to deal with it. Yeah. You know, that was it.
Yeah. Missed those days.
I miss those days, man. You know, you know, blowing on the cartridge to get it to work.
Yeah, there's so I don't. It sounds so. I feel low for thinking about it. It's something just. I love doing that. I love blowing in a cartridge or getting the, you know, wiping the disc or whatever. You know, it's just you just don't do it anymore.
It's because it's like a little physical interaction. It's like something that I don't think you can really describe to like a lot of people who haven't done it. It's just something that we did all the time, which we didn't think about back then, but then before we knew it, we missed it. It's like, you know, something that I've always been really passionate about is like, well, I went through a phase of really being passionate about it, but it's not so much these days. But like, I used to love collecting media, collecting movies, collecting Blu-rays, like, you know, special editions and stuff like that, and games as well. And it's something different to when like you're browsing Netflix and you just happen to find something and click it on, to going through your collection, picking out a movie, opening it up, putting the disc in the player,
Mm-hmm.
and just having that interaction going on the menu. I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like things have become a lot more simplistic these days, which is good. Like I had this conversation earlier on stream. Like things are very much more convenient these days, but then there are things that probably weren't as convenient, but we've got so many precious memories about them. Go in the Blockbuster, you know, like just Blockbuster. You know, nowadays our Blockbuster is Netflix or Crunchyroll or Prime. You know, it's all stuff like that.
It is. It really is.
Yeah,
Man. I lovely segue into one of my other questions there, which is what is your favorite video game collectibles then, my friend?
Off the top of my head, I could think I got the Nintendo Switch on the day of release, the first Switch, and I got Breath of the Wild with it, and that came that was a special edition, and Zelda is something that's really close to my heart. I absolutely adore Zelda, and I think like obviously the games before that I absolutely loved, I adored, but I think when Breath of the Wild came out, I was in a position where I was able to buy the collector's edition. It was probably a bit more than I would have normally paid on a game, but it was one that came with the stone plinth and the Master Sword in it, and it also came with like a canvas light with like the image of Link climbing up the side of like a rock surface. That was pretty nice. That was one of the ones I really enjoyed.
Nice.
And it's just something that, you know, was kind of special to me as well, because like I said, Zelda has always been really, really massive to me. Absolutely love that.
Nice. So going back to some of the earlier streams then, like I again listened back to the old podcast that we did 4 years ago, and we talked about Neckit. Like it's so funny just looking at your face saying those two words now, because you actually said on the podcast, like, it's quite interesting, you was like saying, at the moment I do it, it's fine, but if the channel gets any bigger, then I might need to drop this. So for anyone new in Snooky's community, do you want to explain what Neckit is or was?
Before I do so, it's actually really funny because like you can tell who like the old timers are in the community by some of like the things they say. And like, you know, if I'm ever doing like a celebration stream, like a birthday stream or something like that, you know, people, you know the ones who've been around a long time, they're like, oh, Neckit, we're doing a Neckit. So basically, when I was like fairly new to streaming and you know, fairly carefree on the internet, I thought it was a really, really cool gimmick to have a channel point redemption. It was a channel point redemption. I can't remember how. Probably not enough channel points to be fair. It was probably something stupid like 3,000. I think it wasn't a lot, but that was to completely down an alcoholic beverage can of beer.
Yes,
and yeah, I don't think there was really any major limit on that for majority of the time. So yeah, you know, there would be times where things would get pretty nuts on the stream. And in the back of my mind at the time, I was like, yeah, if I carry on doing this, one thing, it's going to be really unsustainable. I'm going to become an alcoholic. And two, yeah, this is going to get expensive as well. In the end, it was just a passing gimmick. It was one of those things that it was fun for the time. Like I say, unsustainable, but it does make an appearance every now and again.
Well then.
And it's but it's one of those things now that it's just transcended channel points. There's no like real redeem for it, but the real ones know, and the real ones will know when it's gonna happen. And they'll just come in and say, oh, I think it's time for a Neckit, and I'm like, is it? And then and then we go from there. But yeah, and it was just one of those things that, like, you know, it's almost like you look back on your younger days. You know, it sounds corny, but you know, when I was young,
yes,
I used to do this. Like I say, it's not something I would recommend doing all the time, because Twitch can be, you know, pretty strict with things around, you know, stuff like that. But we've all done it. A lot of us have done it. You know, we've had a few drinks on stream, or you know, things that got a little bit, you know, bit more carried away than usual, and I think, you know, it's important to have those experiences. It's all part of the journey, you know?
Definitely.
And I had a lot of fun with it, but at the same time, I'm very, very glad I was able to kind of recognize and say, okay, well, this isn't something I could do all the time. But it was fun while it lasted. And, you know, we'll bring it back for a little bit of like a throwback every now and again. You know, I got a birthday stream coming up, which I may have to be careful with. I will be careful with, because I got to be on the front page of Twitch, which is really exciting. But obviously when I'm on the front page of Twitch, there would be no behavior of any kind like that happening. But it's usually a pretty like strict time slot of when you're going to be featured. But when that ends, then I don't know, who knows? If you guys want to see a bit of naked on that day, I'll see what I can do.
Amazing. So I've had the absolute privilege to have done a lot of charity events with you, my friend. Again, you were part of you were part of my first community fundraiser, and you've been involved in a lot of the community fundraisers we've done. And my charity fundraising experience would not be what it is without you, my guy. You know, you've been involved in so many of our wonderful events, you know, because of our mutual Welsh heritage, and also our love for mental health with Mind and Resident Evil. So, you know, we've been we've very much been aligned in that respect. So just talk to us about that. You know, talk to us about your memories playing Dathler events and BioRand for Mind events and stuff like that. And again, as being one of the main guys, you know, again, we got a fantastic, you know, four heads when it comes to BioRand for Mind. Shout outs to Monster the Mash and Deep Stack Dave alongside us too. It's been an absolute privilege running that with you, my friend. So yeah, talk to us about your memories and thoughts on it.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. I've really you know, loved every step of it, and it's been really nice to just be able to, you know, participate in stuff like that, like be included in sort of like, you know, such amazing groups with amazing groups of people all doing stuff for a great cause. You know, honestly, guys, for those listening, Johnny actually is like one of the most hardworking and, you know, diligent people when it comes to raising money for charity. Like, it's unbelievable how much this dude has raised, like, for charity on, you know, through all the different events he's done. But like he said, like, I've been very lucky to be a part of that. That Jackbox one, that first one, that was your first one ever?
It was the first community one we did. That was eight of us, wasn't it? So I did like 2 events solo before then. But yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Damn.
it was.
And that was, and you know what as well? Like, that was still when I was like really new to streaming, and like I was still like kind of like, I was very like new and kind of, I felt really shy doing it, like around all those like different people like who, you know, have either been streaming a bit longer or like stream, you know, have different levels of like experience and from different communities and stuff. So it was really like my first step into that kind of content collaboration things, you know, on like a, you know, going outside my comfort zone. So when you think of it like that, like, you know, honestly, Johnny, you've not only kind of done amazing things for charity, but you've actually helped push me outside of my outside of my box a little bit, and you know, get me kind of, you know, a bit more confident in myself and on my streaming journey. So yeah, you've done a lot.
Thank you, man. Can I say just a few words about that charity event? Like, I think I've really said this. Certainly, I've not said this to you since that when that happened for around 4 years ago. But like, for those who don't know how much respect and love I've got for this guy here, that event happened, and Snooky here got a huge raid in the middle of this charity event. Like, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was like the first big raid you got ever.
It was like 3 back to back. It was like 3 massive raids back to back.
Yeah, man.
It was iKitKat, Matt DeRock, because they were both they were doing their own collaboration. They might have been playing RE5 or something. Yeah. And then I had one off Sinnow.
Wow, goodness me. And yeah, it was just like, there was 8 of us, and Snooky was one of the 8, and he got this humongous like wave of people coming into his chat. He was like, type of thing. We were all playing Jackbox again. It was like, what's happened to Snooky? He was like, he muted himself. He was AFK with us. He was not AFK with his lovely community. We could not reach Earth to Snooky was not around. But how much love and respect I've got for this guy. Like, he got loads of subscribes, he got loads of bits, he got like raid trains, he was living life, it was incredible. But what I love so much about Snooky is that he gave all that money that he'd made from that stream of his own volition to the charity event, and that says so much about how much of a guy you are, man. So I've always been appreciative of you and your commitment to charity, mate.
No, man, like I say, I'm happy to be a part of like things like that, and in my mind, if I wasn't part of that stream that I was invited to, that event that I was invited to that day, who knows, I might not have received those raids and received all those subscriptions and stuff like that. So as far as I'm concerned, that's part of the charity event. It was just obviously the timing of it at the time where I'm in the middle of a Jackbox game, and I'm missing my turn every single time because I'm freaking the fuck out over on the, because I'd never experienced anything like that.
No, exactly.
I'm getting like triple digit raids. I'm getting ridiculous like amounts of like subscriptions and bits and stuff like that. But of course, like that, it wouldn't have even entered my head for a second to be like, well, I'm that's mine. No, it's a charity event. I'm donating it to charity, and I was happy to do so. I'm glad I was able to help raise so much for the charity. That's like, for me, I was like, I feel like I've really done my bit there, and and the community has done their bit. They've done incredibly. It was it was a really, really nice feeling, but
awesome.
It did go off the rails a bit. It did definitely go off the rails, and I think I was on the beers on the Neckets from that as well. I think that inspired it.
I think you had a couple of Neckets. I think you had 2 Neckets that stream. Like that last hour went completely ballistic. One of my, when you have certain memories and certain like snapshots in your brain that don't leave you. Like one of my favorite snapshots of you of that night, mate. And I don't think I've ever said this to you before. Is I remember looking onto your stream whilst we were doing our Jackbox and whatnot, and I was looking over to SnookyShogun's Twitch, and I'm just seeing you like muted, like clearly listening and dancing and singing to Sanfire Push Gwinges.
Oh yeah, the Welsh song.
He's like, Sanfire Push Gwinges. I was like, oh, he's loving it. That image stays with me.
I remember that. That was wild. That was absolutely just madness.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, God, you have some real special times when you're streaming, and that was definitely up there.
Yeah, man. And then we have Dathly, and then we have BioRand. Like, wow.
Honestly, you keep pumping them out, bro. Like, that's what I mean. This dude does not stop. He's either doing charity events or he's doing like. Can I just say quickly? I saw the game show thing that you did. You wouldn't lie to me. Oh my God, bro! I was in stitches. It was absolutely incredible. I'm so sad that I couldn't be a part of it this time. But you did an incredible job. It was so entertaining. Well done. I've been meaning to say that to you for a while. I just wanted to kind of quickly go out, but it was almost like just watching something on like on TV. It was just a TV show. Really, really, really fun. But yeah, it's been charity events like we've done Dathly, we've done BioRand for Mind. There's always loads of charity events, and honestly, like none of that would have even come to any kind of fruition if it hadn't been like Johnny spearheading it and just masterminding it. The dude's always like, you see what's happening currently now, like what Johnny's like content is for this week. He already knows what's happening like 6 months down the line. He's already
it's kind of true.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Honestly, bro. And that's a credit to you, man. And like you say, you've raised a shit ton of money for charity. Like you probably know like roughly how much you've raised in total through your streaming journey for charity. It's probably like a lot, I would have thought.
Well, I'm not saying it. This is not my episode, so no. Okay. No, you're right. But no, It's been a lot, man. But no, but we couldn't have done it without you, man. Like again, again, it feels like we're just back and forth here with compliments, but I'm going to flip it back at you.
Wait, we're just two buddies shooting the shit.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a podcast episode. This is just to make. We need. Let's have a neck it now. You know. No, but no. Like your professionalism like comes through as well, especially this year with the BioRand for Mindset from 2025. Like we needed like certain structures and certain maturity, and like again going back on the blueprint that I mentioned earlier, and knowing your audience, knowing your community, knowing context, knowing, you know, you mentioned Twitch, you know, front page, you kind of go, oh, okay, I know my surroundings, I know what the expectations are here of me. Like people like, you know, myself, who's not been on that journey in terms of Twitch partner, I couldn't even know what that feels like. And but you brought this grounding and maturity to like go, guys, there's a lot of people watching us here now. We need to start to up the bar in terms of the quality, but also the professionalism. And again, massive thank you for what you've done for the BioRand for Mind event, man.
Honestly, man, I think we all like kind of fell into our roles a little bit this year. With BioRand for Mind, obviously in January just passed, it was a lot bigger than we kind of anticipated, at least myself. Like I knew it was like a big, you know, kind of a big event. It was like the biggest BioRand event that we had planned so far. But, you know, we upped things so much on so many different scales, like starting the Twitch channel, you know, having like an official committee for, you know, for obviously more hands on deck to plan things and, you know, help us collaborate and stuff like that. And yeah, when we started seeing the amount of, I guess, the amount of traction this was getting, compared to last year, it was insane. Like to put it into perspective, like the first year that we did like the full BioRand for Mine tournament, we were pretty much airing the races when we could on whichever channel we could. You know, 1 week it would be on mine, 1 week it would be on Johnny's, the next be on Dave's or Monsters. But this year we had a real structure to it, and it was really cool. It was just cool seeing the hype of it. I remember that first draw. The first draw we did on Mash's stream. I think after that, then we did take things over to the main channel. But just seeing people just coming in their droves because, you know, they were interested in the event and then hyped for the event and seeing who's racing who, and then, you know, seeing the buzz about it either like online or on people's chats, people talking about it honestly took over at one point. It was, you know, it was very, very, very prominent in the Resident Evil space, and you know, I guess that's, you know, a testament as well to, you know, the amount of money that was raised. It was absolutely, you know, absolutely incredible and exceeded my expectations for sure. But like I kind of I feel like I kind of did fall into like that little bit of a organization and planning role, just mainly out of like, I don't know, I wanted it to do so well. I wanted to see it like do, you know, really well, and I kind of got a little bit passionate about it. I think everyone did a really, really good job, and I think like I say, next year is going to be even better again. We all had so much experience, so we learned so much from this last one, and the next one's going to be mind blowing. It's going to blow everyone away. I can't wait for it.
Can't wait, man. It's not far away. This is scary, but it's
well, it won't be long, Johnny. We'll be starting to talk about it. We'll be getting together and thinking, right, we got to start getting, you know, getting some people together, starting to think, right, well, how's this going to look this year? How's the committee going to look? How we, you know, going about certain things? I'm already pumped, man. I'm really pumped. I think this, considering like this year, we went in kind of like almost, you know, we were just, I feel like we were just so shocked by how the reception to it that each week we were just trying to up the ante and try and like, you add like a layer of like professionalism to the whole event. But we were all learning. We were all like learning week by week, and this next one is going to be so. It's just going to be like everything we've learned come into fruition. It's going to be absolutely magic. It's going to be great, and I'm excited, bro. I'm excited, and we're going to raise a shit ton of money again.
Let's go. Can't wait, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
It's been a pleasure, man. It's been an absolute pleasure doing all that with you. And I think I know Johnny is probably thinking, Snooky, stop turning this around on me again.
Damn it, you said it again.
But Johnny is honestly like he is like the mastermind. He's the like the foundation as well. Like he gets things going. He'll set them up, and then with the rest of us, we're a little bit like slower on the momentum thing. Johnny's already like 10 steps ahead of us, but then as soon as we catch up, then like Johnny's like, yes, they're ready to go. You know, Johnny. Honestly, without you, none of that would have been possible, man. And
no, it's true.
Like I say, it's an absolute credit to your planning, your organization, your professionalism, pairing up with all of us. You've done awesome, man.
No, thank you, mate. No, you're right. As soon as like the gears are rolling, I tend to take a step back. Like when the tournament was in full flow, I was like, my job is done. I'll jump in the commentary. Yeah,
you get like that inertia, and then it builds a momentum, and then it's like, yeah, okay. And I think that's like again where it falls into all our different roles, because I'm a bit more kind of I maybe lack that little bit of like confidence in terms of like initiating a project, like starting something, and I'm a little bit like kind of hesitant, or what if this goes wrong, what if this, but I really admire your bravery in terms of you get in there, you get things going, and then I kind of then see oh yeah, this is going to be sick, this is awesome, and then I kind of start throwing my own spin onto it, and we all collaborate as a team there. So I think, like I say, we all have our own roles, we all do. We all work really well as a unit, and it's something really cool we created there.
It is, man. It is.
Sitting back like that one time, like when I was kind of watching the channel, and like the channel was absolutely bustling. People were loving it. The commentary, like I was so proud of the commentary, man. It's just something that you see every day, like on sports channels or like even esports channels and stuff like that. And to think like, yo, that's something that we made, and we've just got races that have been put together on a channel we've made with people commentating over it, and people are loving it. And it's raising money for charity. It doesn't get better than that.
It does not. Another charity event I want to bring a small amount of attention to, mostly as a segue point, is we also last year did the Twitch Not Olympics. And that was an interesting one, that in terms of its production. Definitely a lot of good and bad went into that, and we raised again a good amount of money, and that's the main thing. But it was an absolute privilege to have Team Shogun. Again, I'm a member of your team, Team Shogun, and thank you again for inviting me to be a part of that.
My pleasure.
But talk to us about your team. Talk to us about Team Shogun and your community as a community around the team. Like how is that for you? How has that been?
No problem. So basically, I don't know if, like, for anyone who doesn't know, I have a stream team. It's called Team Shogun. I set it up like maybe a little over 2 months after I got partner, something around that. It's basically just I wanted to kind of have something that had maybe just something that I could say, like a community that I've brought together of like-minded individuals, people who have a similar kind of interest, not so much similar in terms of like similar games or similar like kind of challenges or whatever things they decide to stream, but just like people who have a similar goal. They enjoy streaming, they want to grow, or they want to do different or more things with their streams. And it's just kind of it's just a group of people who I've kind of either interacted with personally or through the community, who we've all kind of met or gelled with over the years, and it's like almost like just like a little kind of family, of the extended community. So it's very with the stream team, I set it up with no real major expectation in terms of like, I want this to do this or this or that. I was just more like, I just want to kind of have a nice kind of, I don't know, nice community of peeps who are all homies who can hang out and support each other, There's no real major expectation. There's no pressure. It's just fun and it's just nice. Everyone's really, really chilling there. We all support each other. We all, a lot of people have made a lot of IRL and online friendships through the stream team. And yeah, it's cool. And yeah, like you said, we participated in the Twitch Not Olympics that you set up for charity.
Yeah.
And Team Shogun, we did really well. We did really well on the One Big Beast did really well.
You did too. Like, I forgot how good you were at Fall Guys. You two double teamed me. It's one of my favorite memories of Twitch Olympics. Was you and Beast just kicking the shit out of me on Fall Guys.
I'm gonna rephrase. Everyone did really well. Beast is just absolutely fucking insane at Fall Guys.
Yeah,
he's just on another level. So and I'm pretty good as well. I used to play some Fall Guys with Beast before. That game made me throw controllers. But yeah, I joined on one of the games that I was available to join on, and I think Beast came first, and I think I came second.
Yeah, you did. Yes.
Yeah. So we pretty much swapped up on Fall Guys. But I couldn't join for the next game, unfortunately. So I don't think I got us as many points as we could have got on that one. But it was still a lot of fun. But then there was a number of other games then. Did you do, was Left 4 Dead one of them?
Yeah. There was loads of games. Yeah, Left 4 Dead. There was Fortnite. There was Outlast Trials. Christ, there was loads, wasn't there? But can't even think right now. But yeah, there was loads of games. Dead by Daylight. Yeah, man, it was loads of games. 11 games in total. But it was, one of my fondest memories.
Proud of Team Shogun for the Fall Guys dub. But proud of everyone for participating, and kudos to you, man. I know it must have been really freaking tough to have to organize and collaborate between different teams like that. That must have been heavy.
Yeah, it was rough. 5 different stream teams. It was the hardest charity event I've ever done, put it that way. So that was to the point that when we got back to BioRand for mine, me, yourself, Dave, and Monster, it was like, oh, this is easy. Even though it was stressful in its own way, it was like, oh, this is nothing.
I think it was very ambitious in the with you're not just dealing like I guess with like BioRand, I feel like you're dealing with like a Resident Evil community, but with the Twitch Not Olympics is like, if you have was it 5 stream teams?
Yeah.
That's 5 different communities that you're trying to sort of collaborate with and get to collaborate with each other. So there's a lot more kind of intersecting, at least like kind of, from the outside looking in anyway, that's the way it seems. I can imagine that it would have been harder. Like with the Resident Evil, like BioRand for Mind, at least I feel that a lot of us already know each other already. There's obviously like newcomers and who came in January, but then now they're no longer newcomers. They're all people that we know now. So it's all become like one big community, if you know what I mean. And a lot of us kind of are able to collaborate and work really well together. But that sounded like it was very hard.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it was. But I've got 2 more questions for you, my bro. I just realised we've gone over it. Let's.
I have been yapping a bit.
It's been fun, man. This has been such a good episode. Thank you again, man.
Man.
But 2 more questions. One is a question from a previous streamer. So a streamer asked a feature streamer a question. They don't know who it is. So the streaming question I got for you from a random person from the previous episodes is: have you ever dealt with burnout in content creation, and how have you navigated it?
Short answer is yes. I've been burnt out. It can easily be done, and it'll happen when you least expect it as well. It'll just creep up on you. I think when you're streaming, and especially if you're kind of, you know, either having a lot of fun building a community, or you're seeing, you know, a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of like the destination you want to go to, like whatever goal you've got, it can be very easy to get tunnel visioned and sort of ignore some of the things around you, such as your own mental well-being. That can easily take a wayside. I say it's easy to get caught up in all that. It's not always easy to catch it before it starts becoming a bit of a burnout issue. Yeah, I've experienced it. I've spent best part of 6 months pretty much grinding the same challenge run when I was doing like the second God run I worked on, where I had to do like 8 scenarios of Resident Evil back to back, no save, no damage. And I was doing that every single stream, not every single stream for like 6 months. But before that, I think I was doing another Resident Evil challenge. And then before that, we were doing BioRand for Mind Year 1.
Yeah.
So it was literally just non-stop, just nothing but Resi being streamed. Wow. And in the end, I just felt worn out from it. And it was getting to the point where I felt almost anxious to be able to go on stream and play something different. I'm a lot better now. Like today, for example, I played Silent Hill today, so it's like it's sort of similar, but like a little bit out of the Resi niche. But yeah, it's very easy to just, if you're on a roll with something, or if you're just getting swept up in the routine of it, and if you're grinding towards a goal, it's very easy to forget the basics of, you know, you need to look after yourself. You need to remember that there is a life outside of the PC screen. Definitely worth, just like, I know it sounds cliche, going and touching grass. Like, I'm very happy with how I've balanced things now with my stream life and my IRL life and my work life.
Yeah.
I made some step changes with my work where I work like kind of outside a lot. I won't say too much, but like it's a pretty active role that I do, but it gets me sort of out the house. It gets me in the fresh air. I speak to people, and you know what? It's almost like a cleanse every single week when I do it. Every like weekend when I go out and do that job, it's like a rejuvenation. So honestly, I can understand if there are some people who do streaming as like a full-time gig, and that's all they do. Like I tried it before, and I couldn't, because you easily just get day in, day out caught up in, you know, whatever grind you're doing, whatever goal you're working towards. But yeah, the way I navigated it, like I said, is, unfortunately, I guess maybe this is just for me, but like it might be different for other people. But unfortunately, when I realize that I'm, you know, potentially getting burnt out, it's already too late. I'm experiencing it. I'm either like worn out, I'm getting run down, I'm getting sick. And then it's like, you got to listen to your body then, right? You just got to listen, and you got to kind of maybe take the learning from it. And that's the important thing. Just, you know, it's okay to get to that point, as long as you kind of learn from it. And, you know, no one's perfect. You are going to probably experience some form of burnout if you're, you know, throw yourself that fully into something like this. I would say as well, particularly for people who, like myself, mained a certain category, as soon as you can. I know it's really tempting if you're getting close to like the partner badge, or if you're getting close to whatever sort of goal you're after, and it was tempting just to smash that category you're on. And I honestly, if that's what you're after, sure, go for it. But I would recommend try and throw some variety in there, even if it's once a week, once a fortnight. Throw something in there for you, because if you're building a community on a certain niche, whether that be Resident Evil, whether that be Nintendo, whether that be Fortnite, and you're just doing that every stream because you know that's what brings the peeps in, that's what people enjoy watching, it's all good and well, but you need to also think about yourself. You know, you are a human being. You are a human being doing this. I know some people don't realize that someone, that person on the other end of the screen is actually a living, breathing human being with emotions and feelings. Yeah, do something, be kind to yourself, play something that will just kind of be a nice treat. And you never know, you may just stumble across something that people actually love, you know, people might actually really gel with. Like some of the most successful streams I've had have been like unexpected ones where I've just decided to throw something completely different into the mix and you know, just do something different. Like I think I played Devil May Cry 2 recently, which is regarded as like the shittest one. But and it is the shittest one. But that slapped, I think, because it was something different and people enjoy seeing like the meme of something that bad. And yeah, it's definitely I think keep a balance as well. Like going back to what I was saying earlier, I will kind of wrap up now, but keep a balance. You know, streaming is fine, but you need to look after yourself. You need to maybe do some things that are outside if you can, if you're able to. And yeah, I guess just don't overcommit yourself to the point where you are finding that eventually you're getting burnt out, run down, and it can make you miserable, and it can make you, you know, feel like, you know, that, you know, it can make you feel, I guess, run down, and you don't want to get to that point. So yeah, sorry, I'm like kind of waffling a bit, but you get the gist.
I appreciate you sharing it, mate. It was quite, you know, deep, that, so I appreciate you being, you know, open and raw about that. So thank you. Right, one final question, my friend, which is kind of a 2-point question. It's kind of, you know, talk to us about your YouTube channel. Again, it's been great to see you slowly bring that you know, into the main. And second part of that question is the final question: is what's the future? What's your plans for the future?
Ooh, okay. Yeah. So I've been like kind of dabbling a little bit in YouTube, and the reason being is as well is. I've kind of like, I'm gonna be like really honest and kind of, you know, sort of speak from my experience, but with my Twitch journey, there's been like a lot of highs, there's been some lows and stuff like that, and it's a very much roller coaster. And I was kind of I was doing a bit of like introspection, I don't know, a bit of reflection on the longevity of what I'm doing, you know, of streaming on Twitch and just making content in general. And I was thinking, well, I put everything into doing a Twitch channel, but I think there's other things I want to put my efforts into as well. I don't really want to put all my eggs in one basket, if you know what I mean. So what I've been trying to do is branch out and experiment with other platforms. So YouTube being one of them. The YouTube, I've been a bit up, you know, I've uploaded here and there over the years. I've had the YouTube channel for a few years, and I've uploaded my no damage runs onto there, and it's been okay. You know, it's not like I'm not like Mr. Beast or anything like that. You know, it's just like I upload when I can, but I'm starting to get a bit more consistent with it. And one of the best step changes I've made, and this is a bit of advice I've been given to people on stream as well, is I've started live streaming on YouTube, which I believe you do as well, right, John?
I do,
yeah. And honestly, that has been really, really promising. I did do some live streaming on another platform, which was a bit shit, to be honest. But YouTube has actually showed a bit of promise in terms of like I'm finding new people, I'm able to interact and sort of show what I do to different audiences, and my goal with that is to hopefully get a YouTube partner. It's getting quite promising that we could get there very, very soon. The watch hours are very close and the subscribers are even closer. So yeah, but I'm also I have like 3 Twitch channels that I currently use. I got my VODs channel, which is kind of where I do my live streams and upload any sort of random live stream archives. And then I got a runs channel, which is sort of like cinematic story playthroughs of challenge runs, so like no damage, but with all the cutscenes and stuff, kind of like a side project. And then I got another project which I'm working on, which is kind of secret, sort of secret, But I don't mind talking a little bit about it, but I just won't tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
But I'm a huge fan of like Dynasty Warriors games and Samurai Warriors and all those so kind of hack and slash games. And I started a channel around that, and just purely just for fun, just experimenting with stuff. And it's been pretty promising so far. Like I'm really happy, like considering I've just kind of done it and not really said like what it's called or told anyone about it. It's we like this last month has had like about 500 watch hours on it, which is pretty insane considering that's just people who have just found it and have decided to watch videos on it,
Nice.
So that's something that, as that I started about 2 months ago, which I'm just kind of doing in my spare time, which I'm really excited about. So maybe if it starts gaining a bit of traction, I'll start doing more with it, like a bit more traction. I'll start doing more with it, maybe do live streams on there and maybe do some more Dynasty Warriors content. But yeah, it was just something a bit fun and something that helped as well with a bit of the resi burnout, just something a bit different. In terms of future of SnookyShogun, continue doing what I'm doing on Twitch. Like I say, I'm trying to put in a bit more variety these days, so I'm still working on the Resident Evil runs. A lot of people enjoy watching them. They're not going anywhere, but there is definitely pretty much like a 50-50 split these days between resi, and then I'll play kind of whatever I feel like, whether that be like a Nintendo game or another horror game or whatever, just see how it goes. Like I got this cool little device, like a modded Xbox that's got like 1 million games in it. So I like do like a retro stream every now and again. It's all cool things that I look at doing. And then like going back to like not putting my eggs all in one basket, I want to try and grow other platforms and just generally just keep having fun, man. I just want to have fun with it. I just want to meet cool people, make loads of friends, and play the games that I want to play. And hopefully I can keep doing this, for another 4 years. We'll see.
I hope so, man. I hope so. You better not go anywhere, you lovely
I'm not planning to. I'm not planning to. I hope to keep doing this, man. It's just really cool.
Yeah, no, mate. That was a really fun episode. That was really, really insightful and lovely, and just an excellent episode. And thank you so much for being back on here, and thanks for being an even better friend. And thank you for being part of our Twitch journeys. As in myself, your community, my community, everyone. So thank you.
No, my pleasure, man. It's been amazing, and like I say, it's you've been there from pretty much the start of my journey. So you've I'm looking forward to what we can achieve together in like the coming years, man. It's gonna be very cool, and I think there's gonna be big things on the horizon for both of us, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, ever since you raided me while you were playing Lynch Lady, it's been great.
Lynch Lady, man, oh man.
I had to get that in there somewhere.
That's a throwback. That was a throwback. God damn.
Still don't know how you found me.
You know what? And I feel terrible. I can't either. I think it must have been like I think I have a feeling it was probably like a recommendation from like Beast or someone. And like I'm like, oh yeah, this dude's a Welsh. Yeah, let's go say hi. Yeah. And I'm so glad I did, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. One more time, dude. Would like to plug where we can find you on your socials? Is to your right, where your Xbox, where your Xbox sign, your PlayStation sign is. So where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/SnookyShogun. That little graphic that Johnny's got on the screen is pretty much going to show you all the socials I'm on. It's SnookyShogun on pretty much everything. It's just a small funny thing about the TikTok one. You can try SnookyShogun 1, but that was a mistake. Oh, it was. It's actually SnookyShogun, but I created SnookyShogun 1 because I actually locked myself out of my first SnookyShogun 1. But then I actually regained access to it. So nice. SnookyShogun or SnookyShogun 1 works. So I'm on both. And just find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I won't say the other one. No, I'm just kidding.
Not the other one. Yeah, that's just for me. So,
That's just for Johnny.
thanks so much, mate. And thanks everyone that's been watching / listening. I'll hopefully see you very soon. Much love. Take care. Goodbye.